This is Code.org App Lab, and this is my awesome Big Chungus video game that I made. I know, the long-awaited game. I'm going to show you what it does. I'm going to play it a bit, and then I'm going to show you how to make your own and how you can use this idea for yourself. All right, let's hit play. And I'm going for these burgers. Not the. Oh, okay. The video game doesn't do. Oh my gosh, maybe I should have said it. I used to be better at this. If you want to give this a shot, there's a link in the description. Oh, I should have practiced more. I designed it slower. So the nice thing about writing the game, I'm going to slow it down so I can demo it for you a bit better. I guess I made it too challenging. I'm going to cut this by half, so it might even seem slow now. And so as I click on these burgers, Chungus gets bigger. And he can get pretty big. And I'll show you how to mess with the sides. If I hit A, though, a carrot, he gets smaller. And the games don't do anything. So that's the basic idea of this. Let me dive into how I made that happen. I'm going to put this back where it was. All right. So this looks intimidating. I'm going to shrink this out of our way. These functions, all they're saying is when I click on the food item. What are the food items? So I'm going to pop over to design here. If I click on this, I just Googled burger, honestly. This one kind of looks like a Big Mac. I don't know. I Googled burger. I think this is from Wikimedia Commons because I wanted to make sure that I had the legal right to use it. Regardless, that's what I grabbed. And I set it up to this one's food 5. And then a carrot, right? I did the same thing, looked for something in the common domain, and I uploaded that, and then I got Big Chungus Video Game. Notice here, bunnygame.jpg, bigburger.png. You'll see these in a second. That's how I use them, because I'm not moving anything around the screen. I'm actually setting the pictures to change, and then our center image here. All right, so this is made up of 10 food items. Okay, and we'll see. So first off, on event. So on the event that food 1 is clicked, which, yep, is right there, check food is run. Same thing with food 2, food 3, all the way down to food 10. Check food's a function. The only thing we're passing or argument we're giving it is food 9, food 8. Notice it's just the name of the button that was clicked. All right, so we're running the function and we're giving it this information here. So, hey, function, check food, run, and no food 7. So let's go to check food function, and that's what would run when we do click on one of these food items. So when check food is run, food means either food 10, food 8, whatever button was clicked. So remember that. Variable image is set equal to get property food image. So the image is equal to the property of the food. What's our food? Oh, well, it could be food 10, food 7, whatever button we clicked. So get the property of whatever button and get the image. So we're looking at what the image is called. Okay, so get that image. If that image is equal, now remember 2 equal signs the equality operator. This means, hey, computer, is this equal to that? Whereas this sets image equal to whatever this returns, which would be the name of an image. This now is asking if image is equal to the big burger, right? So remember, that was the name of one of our images here, big burger. So if our image is big burger, set property food image carrot. So if it was a burger, switch it to a carrot. I know I'm mean. And then I run my get bigger function, which we'll go to in a second. Now, if the image was a burger, we're done. Right? For an if statement, if this is true, we do not run else if at all. That never happens. We just skip now to the bottom and this function's done. All right. So if it was the burger, we run this, we hit get bigger, and we would run get bigger, which I'm going to go to in a second. And then we'd get back here and be done. Now, let's say it wasn't though. Else if image equals carrot. So if the name of an image is a carrot, what do? Well, we set the property food image to the bunny game. Ha ha ha. So I'm not forcing them to click on a carrot again, but it's the bunny game, not the burger. And then get smaller is ran. So let's check get bigger, get smaller. And remember, only one of these. So it's either a big burger or a carrot. So only this or this would run, not both sections. Now, when we hit get bigger, the computer would find this. Variable height equals get property big chungus height. So I get the property of this image. So how big is that right now is what I'm asking the computer. Set Big Chungus's height equal to height plus 5. Well, what's height? Oh yeah, it's what I said up here. Well, what was that equal to? Oh, that's his old height. So what I'm doing here is taking his height, adding 5 to that height, and setting his new height to that. So it's 5 plus his old height. Then I'm going to take his y value, set it equal to the Big Chungus's old y value, and set it and subtract 2 from it. So I'm getting the old y value, I'm subtracting 2, and setting Big Chungus y value to his y value minus 2. And that's because as he gets bigger, it's disproportional, and it looks like he's going up the screen if I don't take 2 away each time. And gets smaller is similar. So this is if you clicked on the caret. The height, get property Big Chungus height. Set property Big Chungus height to height minus 5. Same thing, right? So we grab his height and then we subtract 5 from it. We're shrinking him. Now y is going to be equal to y. So we're setting y equal to his old y value, except this time we're adding 2 to it. So we're doing the reverse of this, because as he gets smaller, he goes down the screen. And so we want to push him up by adding a couple to his y value. Now this timed loop, this is what's changing the food and what's run automatically. It's what was making the food go so fast. So time loop 1500. Now here is an array, variable food loop, food 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all of the names of these, right? I guess I didn't need to go into design. That's the IDs I gave my images, ID food 2, so on and so forth. Now count is equal to 0. Wall count is less than food items dot length, so this dot length, and that just means how long is this, which would be like 10, right? So wall count is equal to 10, less than 10, run our loop. It's important to notice wall count starts at 0 because the first index in an array is 0. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 8, 8 and 9. So index 9 is at 10 because index 0 is at 1. So setting it less than food items.length, the length of this is still 10. So food items.length will return 10, which is great because we start at 0. And 0 to 9 is 10 spots, and then we stop our loop. So, because it has to be less than 10. Count. Variable random equals a random number, 0 to 2. Okay, and why did I do that? Well, we have 3 options, the game, the burger, and the caret. So if random number is equal, right, 2 equals is an equality operator, 1 makes a variable. If random number is equal to 0, set property image caret. So if the random number is 0, we just have a caret. Else if random number is 1, set property burger. And what property? Oh, well, the count. Count, what's count? It's that number that we're looping through. So, count of, who cares, of food items. So if count is equal to 0, food item 0, this really says set property of food 1 image to caret. If count's equal to 9, set property of food item 9, well, what was 9? Index 9 is food 10. So set property of food 10 image to big burger. And so this means we loop through every food item to change it up. And finally, else if, or else, so the default, if it's not equal to 0, if it's not equal to 1, it would be equal to 2. But then we make it, regardless, else, into the bunny game. Then we say count equals count plus 1, or you could just do count plus plus. I thought it might be more clear for me to write it out like this. And it loops back through. And this time loop runs this is how fast it runs. So right now I set it to run every 1.5 seconds. And that is the 1.5 millisecond. This is in milliseconds. So 1,500 means you are running it every 1.5 seconds. So I actually might have made it harder by making it slower. Okay, and so you could do, ooh, that would be way slow. So now this would be less than a second they would have. Maybe that's too hard though. So something like that. And that controls the speed at which your loop is being run. It would be really easy to add more images to this. And what you would do is once you do that, you would just want to, down here in the if, add them. add them to the random. So you could increase the number a bit, add a few images of your own if you would like, and have that happen. A score would also be something fairly easy to implement, right? So you could have it displayed in a text value somewhere around your screen, and have it tick up and down according to how many times you click on the right stuff. That would be a really fun thing to do with this as well. Also, multiple levels, or you could have the speed increase with the amount of success the user has. I debated about doing that, but I wasn't good enough at it as is, so I resisted that urge. But the time loop's tricky. These functions, I just want to point out, are very similar. You could actually probably have the same function do this, but you would have to kind of finagle the math a bit, and I thought it'd be more clear for those starting out with coding to see it that way. But yeah, you should definitely build on this, make something awesome, make something better, remix it, make something super cool, get an idea from it, and post the code, post your project, share your project in the description below. This project is shared in the description below. You should definitely check it out, have fun with it, and I'm going to see if I can do a little bit better on the, oh, that's not, this is just, let's pretend like I won. I'm going to go cheat and slow it down. Well, I don't, Anyways, make your own, share your own projects, check out mine in the description below.